Recently, the second annual World Bowling Coaches Conference took place in Arlington, Texas, where coaches from around the world gathered at the beautiful International Training and Research Center to learn and discuss the latest advances in coaching from some of the best minds in bowling. Eileen's Bowling Buddy is proud to share a presentation that was given to all the coaches by our very own silver level coach, Al Henderson. Let's take a look.
I know that you've come from all over the world to be here, and we really count this as a privilege to be in front of you to show us some of these products that we have here. So we're going to go over a little short agenda for the 30 minutes we have today. We always have, when we go to teach, we'd like to have a goal. We like to have something that we shoot for. And that's what we're going to discuss that a little bit. We want to be successful in what we do, no matter what it is. So in coaching, we'd like to be successful. We'd like to know what tools that we need that will help us be successful. Certainly the knowledge that we're gaining here is a huge tool in what we do. But then there's also other things that can help us to be successful. And then, of course, how do we obtain these tools? And that's what we'll show you at the end here. As we go through life, we walk down the halls of our businesses or what we do. We see people practice the sport that they love. We see them in the hall taking golf practice swings. We see them working on their forehand if they love tennis. Because what are they doing? They're trying to mimic. They're trying to, that little thing that they don't do just right, they want to do a little better. But where are they at? Are they at the golf course? Or are they at the tennis court? No. They're about their everyday lives. They're at home. They're at their place of work. And so, why not bowling? Why not when we're in the bathroom in front of the big mirror, just take one more shot. Just try to hone that skill a little bit. The result of doing those little things is that hopefully when we get to the playing court, when we get to the golf course, when we get to the bowling center, we see a little bit better results than we were last week. That's what we're hoping for. So how do we get there? How can we get there just a little bit quicker, maybe a little bit better? And that's what we're going to bring to you today. These are bowling tools for the modern game. And we're proud to have a complete line here to help us all out. The hardest thing we have as coaches to do to teach is feel. Because it's theirs. The feel of what we're trying to teach, they own. How can we verbally convey that feeling to them? That's what these tools help us to do. It makes our jobs easier because the feel is built into the tools. Where can we do this? Off the lanes. Do it at home. Do it at work. Do it wherever it's convenient for us. Do it in the park. Whenever we're relaxing. And that's the best time to practice, isn't it? When our mind is free of the daily activities and we can grab a tool and just feel that one more shot. Feel that 11th one go down in our mind, visualize. So first thing we're going to show is the swing trainer. This has been developed over a period of time to get that proper gravitational alignment, the straight alignment. If you try to take it behind your back a little bit, the weight snaps over. It lets you know that you're not in a straight line. If you go too high, if you go outside. It's shaped in the shape of a pin just because it works. You've got the lower mass, and then you've got a light mass below it, and then you've got your swing point above. So it gives it that automatic pivot point, which sends the feel back to your body. And as a coach, you just put it in their hand, you get them lined up. Automatically, they feel it. Oh, that's what I'm doing. And that's the magic of coaching. That tool just helps you to get a little bit better. And then once we have that, there's always a power position that you can get into. And that's where we have the power trainer, which is exactly the same diameter as a bowling ball, so you have the exact feel on how it's on your hand. But we all know the closer that you can get that to your ankle, the easier it is, the more efficient your swing is, and the more power you generate from the hips into the bowling ball. So for those players that swing outside, they can automatically feel it. So again, we've talked about already in just a half a day session about repetition. If you had to swing a bowling ball 10,000 times, that would be rather expensive if you had to buy all that lineage. You can do this at home. So this helps you to get better faster. Moving on to the next product. Got the field trainer. This is our 3, 4, or 5-inch balls. This helps us to feel the ball coming off the pads of our fingers. There's several different ways to throw it. You can throw it down as you're unloading, the yo-yo type feel. You can toss it up regular way, up against the wall, toss it to somebody. Usually it's got several different colors on it so you can see the rotation in the ball. You can play games with it. You can get with somebody. You can have a dot in the middle. You can toss back and forth and try to hit the mark in between. Then we go to the axis trainer block. What this does, it immediately gives you feedback on how it's coming off the 2 pads of your fingers. Gives you axis rotation, whether you want to give it straight. Gives you immediate feedback if you released it correctly or not. If you released it wobbly, you can automatically see it. You can automatically adjust what you're doing. And it's amazing, you do that about 10 times, you have that feel on releasing it correctly. A lot of different games you can play with that. Another little kind of new item, the release trainer. This is actually, again, enhancing that yo-yo feel, that yo-yo release. Kind of, you're feeling the weight come off of your hand as it goes downward. Then we get to the noisy one, the rev track. When we sit down and we put that tape on that ball to find our positive axis point, we need another person to see if the tape's in the right place. You know, we can mark out that first line of oil next to the thumb and we can do all that. But it takes 2 people to see if you're doing it right. You can put the piece of tape on the ball here and you can see if you've released the ball correctly yourself. You can actually see, because you're looking down, if that rotation is the way that you desire it to be. You can also experiment changing your axis tilt, axis rotation. One of the most important things I think it does for me is that when I'm holding on to the ball a little bit, it jumps off. So if my hand is relaxed, it rolls just fine. If I'm gripping it, if I'm not doing it just right, it tells me. It gives me that feel. Then we have these small tools that we call path trainers. They're ovals, rounds, and then we call them the 3-in-1s, is the ones that look like a donut. We can set these down on the approach. If the center will let you, you can put them out somewhere on the lane. You can hit right or left of them. You can try to hit them. But it's another alternative to the tape. Even if you have the good tape, some centers will just say nothing on the approaches, nothing on the lane. You can use these path trainers to give a visual target of what you're trying to achieve with your students. Brand new, this is the first time we've shown it, alignment trainers. And this is about the 3rd generation before we decided to release these, because it takes trial and error to get to a product that's really going to work for you. That is the same diameter as a bowling ball. So you can use it with our tools, or you can use it with your bowling ball. You can use it on the lanes in a 1-step drill. You can use it at home. Remember how we always put the mirror up with a piece of tape to work on what we're doing? Well, if you don't have a mirror, or you're at work where you can't take a mirror, you can take one of these with you. And then you can expand it so that you can do the entire approach bowling motion, that you can go all the way through. You can go through with the ball, you can go through with the orb, or you can move the stakes closer together, and you can go through it with the pin. So whatever you're working on, however you're doing it, and you wouldn't believe how difficult it is. But we designed these with about 1 inch of forgiveness. They'll give you immediate feedback whether you did it correctly or not. How important is it to getting the ball on line at the beginning? I mean, I was just down at Kegel and Rick Wiltsey, we went 30 shots. I hit my mark at the arrows. I was with 1.5 inches. My laydown area was 4.5 inches, left to right, which translate my ball finished 8 inches difference. I was hitting my mark. But that's not the whole picture. This helps you on this side of the foul line to get your ball started correctly. The ideas for these tools come from you. They're not anything magical. They solve problems. The material that's used is rather unique, and we'll show that in just a second. And then we have the balance trainer right here. When all is said and done and you're doing everything on flat ground, do you want to get your balance just a little bit more where you can feel it better? Do any of these drills, do any of these tools on that. And it's a whole new dimension. And then if we think about it, if we want to take it again to a different level, use any or all of these tools with your eyes closed. That's the ultimate teaching the feel game. So here's the bottom line of everything we presented so far. When you get your students to train using these tools, and I mean train, not play with them, I mean really spend some time, get them in the proper position, getting them doing the proper moves, repeatability happens. Isn't that really kind of getting bowling down to the basics? If we can repeat things, even for maybe the 175, 180 average person that really doesn't want to get better, but they want to get, I hate the word consistent, because bowling is never consistent, but it can be repeatable. That's what these tools will help them to get there. If they can repeat their swing more, they're going to make more spares, they're going to stay right where they want to be. And they'll be happy, you'll have a happy customer. You're going to make better first shots, which is going to leave you more makeable spares because you're repeatable. You're going to convert those spares, your average is going to go up. And that's probably what most of your students' goals are. When you repeat, you put yourself into position to score well, to repeat championships, to take those trophies out of those centers, because you've been there, you've done that, you're comfortable with it, and I can do this under a pressure situation because I've done it so many other times. And repeatability, of course, brings repeatability back to you, back to your front door, back to your business. Here's other small additional benefits that you may not realize. This is medical grade rubber, which means that it's sanitary to use, easy to keep clean. If you had a dishwasher, you can stick them in the dishwasher, but not on the dry cycle. It doesn't like heat. Everybody associated with Eileen's Bowling Buddies are bowlers. Virtually indestructible now that. What's really interesting from an engineering standpoint, I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, is that when you take any material, there's usually fissures or cracks when you stretch it this far. There's none here. So it's a quality made piece of equipment. All of these are. And of course, everything comes with a 1-year warranty as is normal. So I know a lot of you are already familiar with the tools, but there's a couple of people that has them in their hand, a couple of gold coaches, a couple of our favorite people that are here. I was with Mike Diaz a couple months ago. He had that 4-inch ball in his hand for the whole 3 hours I was with him. He likes that thing. Several teams, there's more teams that use them. I had to make a correction on Weber there. They just got another championship. So we appreciate all of the teams that use the products.
Let's give a round of applause to one of our sponsors here.
Thank you, everybody.
Eileen's bowling buddy would like to give a very special thank you to Rod Ross and the wonderful staff at the International Training and Research Center and all the great coaches from around the world that made this year's conference such a great success. For more information and coaching from Al Henderson, visit his website, hittheheadpin.com. For more in-depth videos on all of our training tools, stop by our website or give us a call. From all of us at Eileen's Bowling Buddy, thanks for watching.